Everybody to another Cardinal House AMA. We got AJ from EMP with us today. We're going to be talking about some upcoming NFTs. I believe this is their last day of their NFT sale. Um, is that correct, AJ?
Yeah, brother. So we have about 21 hours remaining, a little bit less now, and yeah, this is our final NFT in our recent launching. It seems like we've launched like one NFT every couple of days. I know a lot of people have been giving us some poking fun at that, but yeah, this is the final one, and once these are done, um, no more additional NFTs until the next bull run, or maybe never, because we have to play it out based on supply and demand. So these NFTs are super valuable and beneficial to the ecosystem, and we'll get into all that later. But yeah, this is your last chance. So after today, you'll only be able to get them on the secondary market.
Got it. Got it. And that's interesting how you say, the next bull run might be, the catalyst that, prompts you guys to, start another collection up or, whatever that might look like for you guys at EMP. And I'm curious to hear, what are your thoughts on when that next bull run would be? Like if we're playing a roulette game and the numbers were months instead of like the numbers in a roulette
Yeah,
round
yeah,
table,
totally.
what would you put all your money on when
I
the
love
when the
it, bro.
month
Yeah,
starts?
I want to. Can I choose black or red instead? Oh man, no, yeah, I get it totally. Yeah, but no, that's a really hard question, man. I think that we unfortunately could be in a sideways pattern, for at least a few months, if not, worst case scenario, maybe even an entire additional year. And I think that people need to be prepared for that. I can't really put my money on a particular date or time, but I can put my money on just continuing to accumulate, while we're in this sideways trough. And so, typically, the longer that we see the sideways movement, that creates a new floor on Bitcoin and the overall markets. And really, even today, I mean, $15,000 BTC, that's still almost double the last bull run. So again, it's all relative. I know a lot of people may have gotten in at the top, and unfortunately, it's looking very grim for you. But you don't realize those gains until you sell. So. Hopefully, a lot of you are still here for the right reasons. We see a lot of people exiting crypto, and you just got to be prepared to ride the wave for the next few months, maybe even a year. I hope it's not a year, but it could very well be. And now's the time to accumulate. I know, when there's fear in the market and when prices are low, that's when millionaires are made, and that's my personal story as well. I've been in crypto for 7 years now, full time for about 5 years, and this is my third bear market. And the first two bear markets, I made most of my money in bear markets, meaning I was able to buy quality projects and blue chip assets at rock bottom prices, and then experience all the price gain, in the next bull run.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a really good quote is riches are made in recessions. You know,
Totally,
people that
100%.
are okay with taking the risk of buying stuff when it feels like the sky is falling. Usually sometimes it fails, but oftentimes it does work out for the better.
Yep, 100%, Zach. And again, I know, it is a hard pill to swallow. Obviously, we don't like to see our portfolios go down 90%. But, those that are true believers in crypto, or, here for the right reasons, and not overextended. I think a lot of people, are over invested in crypto, and that makes it really stressful to be here. So all those things combined can make it a really hard time for you. But learning from those, mistakes, and repositioning yourself in a bear market is really sets you up for an amazing future.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you don't mind me asking, what was the most lucrative crypto that you purchased going into one of these bull runs?
I love that question, man. So yeah, I there's many on my journey over 7 years. My first big win was actually Tron. I did a lot of passive income plays over on the Tron network. Justin Sun started that. Now it's kind of dead and gone. That was kind of my first big win. Steam it, which is now the Hive blockchain. They did a hard fork. That was a social media platform where I was able to share my artwork and get paid in crypto again through people liking what I posted. So that was in the very very beginning, again about 7 years ago. Um, and then the most recent wins were Splinterlands. I was an original investor in Splinterlands. Now we have a partnership with them in EMP, where the EMP token is actually able to be used as a form of payment in their game. And I turned about $10,000 into well over $1 million in Splinterland. So that was pretty amazing. And then Drip, I did really well in Drip. Again, we're seeing it kind of die off now, and as well as Hex. So those are like my top five that I've had outside of EMP. And now, again, I mean, I invest in my own project, even outside of, again, being a team member, obviously. But EMP has been one of my most consistent and largest holdings now as well.
Oh yeah, you got to get that self conviction. Excuse me, self conviction in your own project. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
bro.
Some
Totally.
people
Yeah,
don't
no
have
doubt.
that, and it baffles me.
Yeah.
it,
Oh,
it
100%, Zach. Yeah, I know your box. We were just on your box AMA, another crypto influencer, and he says it's called eating your own dog food. And so, yeah, I love that analogy. And yes, we definitely eat our own dog food.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think one of my biggest gains was I bought Shiba when it first came out, like first day, and then I woke up and realized it was all a dream.
Yeah, yeah, bro, no doubt, man. It's funny you say that because that was probably one of my biggest regrets. I did know about Shiba within the first week, and yeah, it would have been a great buy. But again, I've never been a fan of the meme tokens, and that is definitely one that got away from me for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I haven't actually touched any meme coins. I just wish I did.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. Yep, hindsight's always 2020, right, bro? Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, let's dive a little bit into EMPs. So, for those of us that are just hearing about EMP for the first time, maybe just give like a really quick overview before we dive into what you guys are currently building to provide just a little bit more context into the ecosystem that you guys are developing.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So again, I don't want to get too much in the weeds. I know we've been on many AMAs. We love you guys in the Cardinal House, as well as anybody that looks up EMP on YouTube can find a wealth of knowledge. And we have our own EMP Academy, which is a free online course that literally is an hour's worth of content that takes you through our protocol step by step. So while I go over this, if anybody feels overwhelmed, please go through those resources. But at the high level overview, EMP is a seniorage protocol, and seniorage is a fancy word for inflation. And typically, inflation can be very, very bad, and we see that, with fiat-based currency and governments that print, their currency without any rules whatsoever, and that ultimately devalues that currency. Well, at EMP, we have a very specific set of rules around our inflation, and that is reliant on peg. So we are pegged to an asset. In our case, we're pegged to Ethereum, and we're pegged 4,000 to 1 ratio. And right now, we're a little bit below peg, which again is a way of the system protecting itself. So when we're below peg, EMP actually becomes deflationary because there is no new EMP being added into our ecosystem. And by utilizing the auto vaults and other means of buying and burning EMP, it actually becomes deflationary. So that's why this economic model is very, very different than 99% of other cryptos. Because as we just said earlier, you buy a meme token or an NFT, hoping that somebody buys it from you at a higher price. Well, at EMP, we are able to earn through yield. So we're not necessarily reliant on having somebody buy EMP at a higher price. So all of these things make EMP very, very different. And we've been going for 11 months now. And we've been paying yield every single second of every single day for those 11 months. And the yield is variable, again, depending on the price of eShare, which is our secondary token. We reward our users for going in the farms and other parts of our protocol and reward token called eShare. And by doing that, we alleviate a lot of selling pressure on EMP because typically, you know, in these other DeFi protocols, they reward you in the same asset that the native asset. And so the only way to make profit is to sell that asset, which in turn, drives the price down. So we have a lot going on at EMP. It is very complicated on the surface, but once you really, understand what we're doing, we call it the light bulb moment. And a lot of our users have had that, and that's why our community is so strong, because they see, the value. And, this is literally the best returns in DeFi with exposure to Ethereum. So you're actually earning, actual Ethereum in our protocol, not just, EMP or eShare. You can also earn actual ETH. And we have like $6 million of liquidity, which is amazing. I mean, even in the current market conditions, protocols are lucky if they have $100,000 of liquidity, and we have 6 million. So that is another true testament as to what we built at EMP.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, I didn't realize you guys had that much in liquidity. Like, I know you guys have been wildly successful over the last 11 months. And congratulations on that, by the way. Usually you don't see
Thank you, Zach.
projects
Yeah.
projects around for almost a year. And are you guys doing anything special for your 1 year anniversary?
Yeah, man. So we're extending our e-share emissions. It's something that we've talked about a lot. Um, that's going to be our celebration for the 1 year, and yeah, that will also again we've purposely designed our e-share token to be a very very a much smaller supply than 99% of other tomb forks. So that's another thing. We're a tomb fork. A lot of people may be more familiar with that classification. But we've built so many more things on top of our protocol. But typically in these senior protocols, there's about 100,000 of these share tokens that get released in the first year. We've only released 25,000. So we're again about 1/4 of the overall supply in those share tokens. So even extending it another year allows us to produce that sustainable APR without diluting the share token that much because and then every year after we're adopting the halvening model that Bitcoin has. So the following year after that, only 12,500 tokens will be emitted, and so on and so on. So yeah, that's our 1 year anniversary party. Is another year of eShare. So yeah,
Right on. That's awesome. Super exciting. I mean, again, huge congratulations to being around for almost an entire year in DeFi. That is almost an unheard of concept.
yep, no doubt, brother. Well, and we're always building for sustainability. And again, I know that some people, see EMP and they think, they're below peg, they're dying. But really, that's just people that aren't doing their own research. It is okay to be above and below peg. Obviously, we want to recover peg, and we're doing everything. We're putting all the systems in place to do that. But when you see 90% of not only the value but users leave crypto, we're not immune to a bear market. And, the fact that we're even surviving is a testament to what we have built. And, I say any yield is good yield. So even if the APR is low, as long as you're earning something while we make it through this bear market, that's a plus. And we're not reliant on a bull market either, which I think a lot of other projects use that as a crutch, or a scapegoat, so to speak, where they say, well, we're in a bear market, we can't make it, and we're going to close up shop. Well, we are focused on revenue streams, and we have a lot of revenue streams already in place. We're adding more utility, and value, every single day, and eventually we'll get to a point where the buying pressure on EMP is far more than the selling pressure. And once that happens, not only do we recover PEG, but then we maintain PEG. And again, that's really different, than these other, protocols, especially seniors protocols. A lot of seniors protocols, they blow their treasury trying to artificially recover or maintain PEG, and now they're broke and the project dies. So we take a much more conservative approach, to help, sustain for the long term.
Got it. Yeah, right on. And before we dive into the meat and potatoes of your guys' NFT launch or mint,
Sure.
we got a couple of questions in the audience regarding the price of ETH and how that affects the price of EMP. We got one from Flyer. He asks, "What if the price of ETH changes?" And then also from OXG, he asks, "Doesn't the price change in ETH affect EMP?"
Yeah, so those are amazing questions, and please interrupt me anytime. I love getting feedback and questions. We pride ourselves on that, fully transparent and, actually encouraging questions rather than saying they're FUD or whatever else. So, yeah, there is a big misconception when it comes to PEG and the price of ETH. So, uh, all the while we are pegged to Ethereum, yeah, when ETH goes up, the price of EMP goes up as well because of that deep, deep liquidity. However, PEG is much more, reliant on buying and selling pressure. So, even if ETH, maintained, its price, if there's more selling than buying on EMP, then the PEG goes down, and vice versa. If there's more buying on EMP than selling, the PEG goes up. So, the buy and selling volume is a lot more important to peg than the actual price of ETH. However, because we have such that deep, deep liquidity, and the way liquidity pairs work, as the price of ETH goes up, it will drag the price of EMP up with it, even though the peg may not go up. So, hopefully that explains. And, again, that's the beauty of EMP, is that, you're able to buy into, EMP ETH LP. Again, not financial advice, but we're essentially about 50% below peg at the moment. And we've been farther below peg and recovered fully, uh, uh, just to give an example of our track record. But that being said, if you were to buy EMP ETH, LP today, and then we do get back to peg, that is literally a double or a 100% gain, on your investment. So, not financial advice, but, it could be a great entry point. And because of the way we're pegged to Ethereum, you get very, very minimal and permanent loss. So, even now, again, with that, 100% gain, you get about 6%, in permanent loss. So, it's also very powerful from that perspective. So, does that help, Zach? I don't know if I answered everything they asked.
Yeah, absolutely. That answered it perfectly. I think the big takeaway is that you guys are paired to Ethereum, so price changes in EMP itself or Ethereum itself, they kind of get dragged along with the price changes of Ethereum.
Totally. Yep. And again, because of our deep liquidity, we're the number 25, holder of Ethereum on the entire BNB network, with that deep liquidity. So, and liquidity is king. I mean, again, liquidity is not only important for new investors and larger investors. But you can have a 5,000% APR, but if there's no liquidity, you can't actually realize those gains. But here at EMP, you know, people get in and out all day, every day, and have the liquidity to support, our tokens.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot to dive into, and liquidity is a very complicated topic, and
For sure.
takes weeks to learn and soak up all the information. But I think that gives a very good overview of why it works the way it does. But yeah,
100%.
let's dive into the NFT collection that you guys got.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we've been super busy at EMP. I think that, the projects that build during the bear market, those are the projects I want to be involved in and invest in. Again, not financial advice, but we've been super busy with our NFTs. And not only that, but these NFTs have proven to be so powerful in our ecosystem. So we had a proof of concept about a month ago when we launched our um, Sentinel Squadron NFTs, and that was a partnership with MDB. A lot of you may know MDB, making DeFi better. We partnered with them on this first NFT launch, and we utilized all the funds that were raised to go into our Reactor contract, which is another smart contract built on top of our platform, and that generates yield um, on a daily basis. And again, without getting too much in the weeds, we're able to do that in a very sustainable way, and then distribute the rewards to all the NFT holders. And this is a very hands-off approach. And to my point earlier, that EMP can be very complicated on the surface. These NFTs are essentially the easy button in the protocol. So not only you don't have to learn, you don't have to take any courses. You can save a bunch of time by not interacting on a daily basis, and it's beneficial for not only you as the investor or participant, but also for the ecosystem as a whole because we're utilizing these funds. Again, we don't manage funds for anybody. This is all done through smart contracts in a decentralized and trustless manner. But we're able to utilize those funds in our protocol to maximize the yield. So we did this Sentinel Squadron NFT mint its rewards in eShare and MDB. So you get exposure to both protocols, and that was the largest independent mint on the BNB network. So we raised $1.5 million in a matter of 5 hours, and all that went into our protocol to produce the yield. And even today, those are generating about 10% yield every single month. And the floor price of those NFTs are super healthy as well. It's within $10 of the mint price, even a month later. So we're always supporting our ecosystem and the NFTs. And it allows you to get in and out of the protocol without ever having to sell the native assets. So again, by selling the NFT, it takes a lot of selling pressure off of our native assets as well. So that was our proof of concept. Then about a week ago, we launched a similar version on Ethereum mainnet, where again that rewards an actual Ethereum for those that want to earn ETH. We utilize the funds to go into our ecosystem. They were a bit pricey. Those were $1,000 each, but we were really going after the Ethereum miners that are not able to mine Ethereum anymore and can essentially virtually mine Ethereum in our ecosystem. So those went really well. We sold about 540 of them and raised about a $500,000. Again, the Treasury bought some as well, but yeah, that was fresh capital going in. And now the third and final NFT. Again, we're trying not to flood the market too much, but we really wanted to get these out before the end of the year. The third and final NFT is our Detonator Defender. So this is again almost an exact copy of the Sentinel Squadron NFT in terms of utility, but instead of going into the reactor contract, it goes into the detonator contract. And so again, this is another proprietary um, smart contract on top of our platform that produces yield every day in the form of EMP ETH LP. So now you're able to earn not only EMP but also actual Ethereum by having one of these detonator defenders. And then that reward of EMP ETH LP can then be put into our platform in other ways to yield. So you can use your rewards to go onto the farm or go into detonator on your own and increase your position. So there's about 10 different ways to earn, and these NFTs help you earn in a very, very passive way while simultaneously helping our community and our platform overall. So, sorry, I know there was a lot. Go ahead, Zach. Anything you want me to clarify?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of great information. Where is the money that is raised from these NFTs going?
Yes, so a great question. So, we've been a bit vague on the actual, avenues of how we're gonna do the allocations because we don't want to get front run by potential bad actors. But the long story short is, the all of the funds. Again, we don't take anything in terms of development fees or anything like that from the NFTs. We get a small allocation of that e-share to keep the lights on. But these NFTs, 100% of what is collected is then utilized in our ecosystem. So the detonator defenders, whatever we end up raising as of right now, we're about one third of the way through our mint. We have about 21 hours remaining on the mint, and we've already raised about $320,000. So that will be then put into the detonator directly, which will help all of you that are already in detonator. You will see the pool balance go up, and then anybody in the NFTs and not in Detonator will then experience the yield. And we're actually utilizing um, this in a very responsible way, meaning not only are we going into the pool, so imagine that the NFTs represent one large wallet. So that large wallet is now able to go into Detonator and double its position through what we call the Win It Now button. And this is already built in to Detonator, and it's a mechanism to reward whales that want to go into the platform. Well, if you don't have 100 grand to go into Detonator, now you can experience the benefit of the Win It Now by buying one of these NFTs. And I forgot to mention too, these NFTs are $300 a piece. So very economical, especially when you consider all the benefits that you're getting. And so, um, by utilizing that Win It Now, we double our position in Detonator, and then we use a 70%, 30% strategy where we compound 70% of the rewards and we claim 30% of the rewards daily. And by doing that, we are always increasing the position of that main NFT wallet in Detonator while simultaneously helping the pool balance of Detonator overall because if we're compounding more than claiming, then we're not draining the contract. So we become the largest good acting whale in the ecosystem. It will help Detonator, maintain a floor for when there's new volume coming in. Then daily burst goes back up. Daily burst is your daily rewards. So daily burst goes back up, and now we're in a much, much better position overall. And last but not least, you also get additional lottery tickets. So by going in under this NFT wallet, you're actually able to get up to 250 lottery tickets a day. We offer lottery tickets to anybody compounding or depositing in Detonator. And by doing this, now we have much higher odds of winning the lottery And then if that wallet wins the lottery, not only is that more rewards for the NFT holders, but it's also more beneficial to anybody already in Detonator because we're using that compounding strategy. If we win the lottery, more of the lottery rewards stay in the protocol rather than being, extracted from the protocol. So literally everything in regards to these NFTs is not only beneficial to the potential investor, but it's also beneficial to our ecosystem overall. So it's a true win-win, and we're so excited, to get these out there and then move on with even more development.
Yeah, for sure. That is a lot of information. So if we can take one quick step back, how
For
does the
sure, Zach, please.
detonator how does the detonator work, and why does it make sense to do the 70/30 compound and take profit ratio?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So the detonator is a proprietary ROI contract that we have built from the ground up. The code is closed source because it's that powerful, and it's something we've been working on. Myself, the developer, Jake, as well as some other very bright individuals in our community, have been making this ROI contract literally the most sustainable ROI contract to ever exist. And what it does at its core is that it's a much better way of incentivizing people to add liquidity to your project or our project or whoever utilizes this detonator contract without inflating your token. So typically, when you provide LP or liquidity provider incentives, you have to give some sort of reward, and typically it's in the native asset, which will devalue your token, like I was saying earlier. But with Detonator, you are given incentives and rewards from the contract itself. So you earn these LP tokens in a very heavily gamified ecosystem. We have a bunch of game theory that again can make it sound super complicated, but that's just because we have different things in place to incentivize people. So at its core, you essentially deposit this EMP ETH LP. It is then locked up in Detonator, which is also very beneficial to the protocol because now you have locked liquidity that can't just be dumped or withdrawn on the market. That's been a major point of our success at EMP. And so now and then you get a certain percentage of your reward every day. So as long as you're compounding more than you're claiming, you're always increasing your potential rewards or your pool share as we go on. And unfortunately, again, with the bear market, um, we've seen the pool balance go down. So people have seen their, daily burst or their daily rewards go down as well. But once the contract does start recovering and going up again, and it's all cyclical. I mean, it's meant to go down when the volume's not there, and it's meant to go up when the protocol can sustain that. And once that happens, everybody that has compounded more than claimed will actually have a much larger payout because they have a higher pool share or ratio of ownership. And again, I know it's all very complicated, but this has been proven successful, over the last 11 months. And a previous version of this contract that's not even close to being as sustainable has been running for 3 years. So we really feel like we've, cracked the code, so to speak, and any yield is good yield, and we've been providing yield every day through Detonator and the rest of our platform. So yeah, does that help, Zach? I know it's a lot, brother.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It is definitely one of the more complicated ecosystems in crypto that I have learned about and heard from on AMAs. So I appreciate the detailed breakdown. And as far as those 30% rewards that are claimed and not compounded, are those just distributed to the NFT holders?
Yes, so we have a claim page. Again, if you go to our website right now and click on the Sentinel tab, it will automatically read how many NFTs you hold, and then you're able to claim those rewards again every single day on a daily basis. It usually happens around like 6 p.m. Eastern, whenever the rollover is on those contracts. But yeah, it's rewarded literally daily, and all you do is go and claim. So when Detonator Defenders are live, there'll be another button that says Defender under Sentinel, and again, it'll recognize. You connect your wallet, it'll recognize how many NFTs you have, and then you're able to claim the rewards. And the rewards are in EMP, ETH, LP. So with the Sentinel Squadron NFTs, you're getting exposure to eShare and MDB, and eShare is exposure to BNB. So now not only are you getting ETH, but you also get exposure to BNB. But then the Detonator Defenders are EMP ETH LP. So really, depending on what you would rather earn, maybe you want to earn both. You can grab a few of each and literally earn completely passively. And as long as these contracts are running and functioning, there is no maximum payout or end date of what these could generate. So again, we're trying to just put everything in place at the moment to allow our ecosystem to flourish, while we then focus on added utility, additional revenue streams, and everything else in 2023.
Got it. Got it. And then what is the total supply of the NFTs? And then can anyone buy them? Flyer ask those questions.
Yes, great question. So there is a link on our all of our socials. Again, we'll post it here as well. It's emp.money /hashtag /detonator. It'll redirect you to the mint page. And yeah, they're $300 each. The mint is happening right now as we speak. It will be ending at 8 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. UTC tomorrow. So again, about 20 hours remaining. And again, I don't know. I guess that's right. 20 hours. I'm not good at math on the fly. But yeah. So that being said, though, there is only 3,333 total NFTs available. So if we mint out completely, that's a $1 million entering the detonator. If we don't mint out completely, at the end of that 48-hour window, that's it. So whatever hasn't been minted will be burned. So the total supply of the NFTs could potentially be even less than what they are now, and they're already about one third less than the Sentinel Squadron NFTs. We minted 5,000 of those. So again, could be super rare moving forward, and all the artwork is community driven. All of them are like inside jokes or memes of our community. So the artwork is super collectible as well. And we did a pre-sale where that was the only way to guarantee that you got all 11 artworks. So again, there's 11 total artworks in the series, and if you own an entire set, you get additional perks. So the yield is the same no matter what. We didn't want to be unfair in terms of yield, but you do get added bonus with early access opportunities and other, premium access by having the whole set. So if you didn't get in the pre-sale, you could potentially try and buy a whole set on the secondary market. So all the artwork has not been revealed yet in terms of what you have minted. You can see what the artwork is on our mint page, but you will not know what NFT you got until after the mint is complete. And we did that as well on purpose to incentivize, the secondary market for those that want a full set, and are gonna have to buy it from people willing to sell, or maybe there will be people willing to sell, and then they become even more rare. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the different art collection and having a an added perk to collecting them all, I think that's a really really cool addition to what you guys are putting together.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, and LA, go ahead. LA is one of our team members. She's joining us from the main account. So go ahead, LA. Perfect. Thank you, LA.
Oh, can I invite her to speak on Discord as well, or
Yeah, no, totally. I think, are you on Discord, LA? Maybe, I don't know if she is or not. All right, no worries. So yeah, just to recap for those that can hear Zach and I, she posted the link to the Mint on both Telegram and Discord and Twitter.
perfect, perfect. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had my earbuds out from my phone that's on Twitter, running the Twitter Spaces, so I completely missed that. My bad.
Yeah, no, no worries, man. We're trailblazing here. We're doing a Twitter space. We have a Discord. I should have pulled up my YouTube. We could have done a three-way stream on all the platforms. And yeah, we also do our own AMAs literally every single day. I think we did like 340 AMAs this year alone. So again, we're big on education, and if there's anything that we don't get to today, please feel free to join us on our own AMAs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have one question. I hope I don't butcher this name. Castanorarty. He asks about how do you feel about NFTs versus tokens and kind of like the market sentiment around both of them. And one question I want to add, kind of in addition to that, is do you think in the future people are going to be using tokens or NFTs more? Let's say like 10 years down the line.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I love, the people that are thinking very, critically moving forward. And so, yeah, I mean, again, at its core, NFT is a non-fungible token, so they are all tokens. But yeah, I agree that NFTs that have actual utility are absolutely the way of the future. And again, for those of you that may not know, I have an extensive art background. I did a portrait for President Obama back in 2012, and that was kind of my claim to fame. I'm a digital artist. I did help in the creation of these NFTs as well. And I was selling paintings for, tens of thousands of dollars after I did one for the president. And all that being said, you would think me as an artist would say, that art-based NFTs that are millions of dollars, like, yeah, let's do that. Well, I think that is so dumb. And again, I think that utility-based NFTs are really is what is gonna, have major value in the space. And yeah, I mean, I think, for more of a tokenized, economy, obviously we have to have individual tokens to, trade or again that you have to have that flexibility of a currency, where they're they're fungible, meaning, that's easy in and out. But the non-fungible tokens or NFTs, those are powerful in terms of representation of ownership. So, and that was back to my point earlier, where these NFTs actually really help EMP because you could potentially sell your NFT and that never ever registers as selling pressure on our individual tokens. So that is another really big benefit to having these NFTs in our ecosystem. So yeah, does that help, Zach?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great take on the NFTs, and I think it's funny coming from a digital artist that you think that art NFTs are stupid.
Yes, brother, exactly. Yeah, yeah, totally. So, yeah, we joke about that a lot in our community. But yeah, it's true. I mean, again, there is something to be said about, the community aspect, the Board a Yacht Club, you get access to that community, and now they've launched their own token. So I think a lot of art-based NFTs are moving towards utility, but, just buying a $1 million JPEG is not going to be a good day for you. So yeah,
I think I would have to agree on that statement. There's definitely a time and a place for it, but to the extent that we saw in the last bull run, I don't know that that is very sustainable.
totally, totally, brother. Yep, no doubt.
Yeah, we got a question from OXG. He asks, "What is the biggest problem that you've faced so far with EMP?"
Yes, another amazing question. I can rely on you guys at Cardinal House. Much love to your community for asking the right questions, not just one peg. That's we get that question a lot. So yeah, again, we're working on it and we're doing it in a very methodical method to that. But yes, so the number one thing that we have seen, is and again, I don't want this to sound like a cop out, but it has been, the bear market. And obviously, it's very easy to have a successful project in a bull run or even a sideways market, but it's almost impossible to have a successful project when the market literally draws down 90%. And the fact that we are not only still alive, but producing yield every day, and have a very, very deep liquidity. We have literally the best community in crypto. We have so many things going for us at EMP, that we've been able to survive all that. So that has been the number one hurdle, just being able to figure out ways to maintain while the market is bleeding out. And now we feel like we've again, hopefully gotten close to a floor, and we're able to add more utility uh, moving forward and more value to EMP until we can see new users. And, this is all part of the plan too. I've been on literally, I've done like 20 AMAs in the last 7 days. And so we're always marketing to new people. We're always trying to get new users involved, even during the bear market. There is money out there. You just have to find it. So again, and with launching both these NFTs, I mean, we've raised over $2 million to go into our platform, over the last month and a half, which again is during the heart of this bear market. So we never give up. We have a never give up attitude, and we're always working to help the protocol be as successful as it can be.
Yeah, absolutely. That is insane. $2 million in these markets. That is
So
insane. I mean, what's a bear
yeah,
market? You know.
exactly. Yeah, what bear, right? What bear? No, I love it. So yeah, Zach. And again, I mean, all those funds raised go directly into the protocol. We don't take a cut ourselves. I wish that it was revenue for the treasury. That would help us regain peg even faster. But the money that we do raise, is plugged in to the ecosystem to generate yield. So I think that's another misconception is that people see those big numbers that we raise and they think, well, then why aren't you back at peg if you've raised all this money? The money has to go somewhere, and we can't just use the funds that we generate, to get to peg. We have to actually utilize them to generate yield for the NFT holders. But over the long run, again, it could happen. It could take a week, it could take another month, it could take another few months. But the idea is that we have larger buying pressure on EMP than selling. And apologies for the background noise. I have a 7-day-old baby, so I'm enjoying time with my daughter while we're doing this AMA. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. No worries about the background noise. Completely understand it. Where do you see EMP, or what are your guys' goals for, say, a year or even up to 5 years down the line? Like, what's that utility, and what's kind of that grand ecosystem vision that you are having for EMP?
Yes, totally. So we again we joke about this in our community a lot. We literally have a 10-year roadmap, and for those that have taken the academy, we do a whole video on the vision of what we want to be at EMP, and so we have a ton of stuff in the works. Obviously, a 10-year roadmap is a bit crazy, especially in crypto where a day is like a year. But that is and it is vague. I mean, we have an idea of where we want to go, but we're always pivoting as well. And I think that's another really important sign of a successful project is they have a vision, but they are able to navigate, the landscape of crypto in a very agile way where they don't get stuck in their ways. We've seen a lot of projects that don't want to change, whether it's due to laziness or inability. But if you don't change, you die. And that is, again, back to my real world business acumen. You always have to be um, better than the next guy. And so we apply that to EMP. And yeah, moving forward in 2023, we do have a major rollout. Again, hopefully in quarter one or quarter two, where we have a whole ecosystem that we're building on top of EMP that will eventually make it more profitable to stake or to hold your EMP than to sell it. And once we're able to roll all that out, then that's when we really see the power of EMP at its full potential. And by doing that, we still maintain the overall mission at EMP, which is to be the number one passive income platform with exposure to Ethereum. So if you're bullish on Ethereum, then you need to be bullish on EMP. And again, I mean, no promises, but I easily could see Ethereum, five or $10,000 in the next bull run, if not more. So we're doing everything we can to realize those goals. We also are rolling out an incubator. Again, a lot of people call it a launch pad, but that should be the end of next year, where we literally incubate other DeFi protocols and projects with direct access, to our expertise. The number one incubator we've already announced, and that is our sister project, Impulse, and that will be the first algorithmic or seniors protocol on the Pulse chain network. So that's already in the works. And again, we just want to focus on making DeFi a better place, furthering adoption in DeFi, and again, making EMP one of the big dogs in DeFi.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I like it. And I'm curious to hear from your own words. What is your conviction on Ethereum? Because obviously you guys are pegged to Ethereum. It's very much in your best interest that Ethereum does really, really well. But I'm curious, what's your personal take on Ethereum?
Yeah, so twofold. I think that you can have the most badass blockchain on the planet, but if nobody is building on that blockchain, it's worthless. And so that's why I think ETH has been able to establish itself. Obviously, nobody is really transacting in Bitcoin or building on Bitcoin. All the action is happening on Ethereum mainnet and the BNB chain. And so, those are the two largest blockchains in terms of volume and people building on it. Therefore, they're the two that have the largest value. And so, again, I try to use the analogy of Bitcoin is digital gold and a store value. I think we can all agree on that. But Ethereum is digital oil, meaning, we're transacting in Ethereum every day, just like gas or oil in the real world economy. And that gives it tremendous value because we have to be able to transact in it to interact with all these protocols. And same with BNB. I think BNB has held up really well. Um, and we may get to a point where, the Binance Smart Chain, especially, or the BNB network as it's called now, the BNB network can be, even more on par with ETH mainnet because of the reduced fees and the success that Binance has had. So I know Binance is under attack today, again, with all the whole FTX debacle, but CZ and Binance, I mean, they're on a whole nother level. And as long as people are building on both Ethereum and BNB, it will have value for the long run. And again, through EMP, not only do you get exposure to ETH, but you also get exposure to BNB because our share token, eShare, is paired with BNB as its main liquidity. So yeah, does that answer, Zach? I don't know if you want me to go more into it, but yeah.
No, absolutely. That makes a ton of sense. And I think that analogy of Bitcoin being the digital gold and Ethereum being that digital oil, I couldn't say it better myself. That's great.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, no, and again, I mean, I've been around the block. I was buying Ethereum at like $200, I think, or 150 at the bottom in the last markets. And so even today, we've seen the value increase, and now that Ethereum is proof of stake rather than proof of work, it's even more deflationary, and that could potentially drive the price up over time as well. So yeah, I'm a perma bull, whether it's Bitcoin or crypto or ETH or anything in general. I'm always optimistic, but I think the upside potential on Ethereum is massive. And again, what I mean by that is we could see Ethereum 10x a lot sooner than we could see Bitcoin 10x. So the price multiple is much better.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. Is there anything that we did not get a chance to touch up on yet that you'd like to quickly touch up on?
I don't know, man. I think we covered a lot of it. I always appreciate you guys. Again, the whole crew at Cardinal House and your amazing community. We've been involved with you guys for at least the last 6 months, if not more. And yeah, we're just trying to continue to build, um, continue to educate, continue to share with everybody here. And yeah, man, we're excited for the mint to finish out strong. If you're not in EMP yet, or even if you're already in EMP, I would highly recommend, again, not financial advice, picking up at least one of these NFTs based on what reward you want to accumulate because, it's just a great way to add to your position completely passively, and use those rewards in our ecosystem to generate even more rewards. So, EMP is not going anywhere. Again, yes, we're below peg. I know that it can be scary times for a lot of you, but we're going to continue to build. We're going to continue to deliver, and we have the track record, that supports that. So, yeah, man. I don't know, LA. Yeah, LA. Was there anything you want to add? Go ahead. Yep. Yeah, absolutely, LA. So, again, I don't know if you guys can hear her on Discord, so I'll repeat. LA is our head of marketing and a team member here. She said to go over our audits. So, yeah, as I said, I'm fully KYC'd and doxed. AJ Brockman. You can Google my name and find out everything you would want to know about me and some things you don't. But no, that'll back up my story about President Obama. And yeah, we have taken transparency and trust very seriously when from day one. And so we have an OX Guard audit, and that was a very vague audit in the beginning. But now we have a Truth Seekers audit that's underway, as well as a Paladin audit as well. So we'll have two major audits by the end of the year. Again, just to give everybody even more trust in our protocol. And the True Seekers audit is a overall audit of our code and our economics. And the Paladin audit is actually an audit on Detonator. So as I mentioned earlier, um, Detonator is a closed source contract. Again, a lot of people don't like that, but we did it on purpose because it's so valuable. And we've already had multiple partners where we lease this technology to them as a revenue stream. We call it Detonator as a Service or DOS. And so, again, we have a non-disclosure agreement with Paladin where they are auditing this closed source code to give everybody even more confidence in it. So we're hoping that's ready by the end of the year. Again, our code is very complicated, so it takes a long time, but we're trying to get it out there right. And we have a partnership, or I'm not allowed to call it a partnership, an integration with Chainlink. So we use the Chainlink oracles to not only do our price data and our TROP time weighted average price, but also to draw a random winner for our lottery. So again, all of that is provably fair through the Chainlink Oracle. So we have major integration with a lot of large players.
Yeah, that's all really awesome and exciting stuff that you guys have going on. Yeah, just a quick recap. I know there's just a couple other questions regarding how simple it is to get started with EMP, and that's pretty much all you have to do is get that NFT, and then you've got the simplest version of exposure to the EMP ecosystem. Is that correct?
Yes, brother, perfectly said.
Super
Oh,
simple. Super
can you hear
simple.
me? Oh,
Yep.
sorry, I thought my computer might have died. All right, yeah, no, 100%, man. And that again is why we rolled out these NFTs. Um, because I know a lot of you, the number one, and that's what we do well at EMP. We listen to what people say as feedback, whether it's positive or negative feedback, and the number one criticism was that EMP is extremely complicated, but people love the idea of earning ETH. So these NFTs literally accomplish all of that as the easy button of the protocol.
Yeah, yeah, that is awesome and makes things super easy. I think user simplicity or just user friendliness as a whole is super important to crypto. Like, there's a reason why there's most of the world still doesn't use crypto or DeFi especially, and that's just because it's so complicated. And if you can make things easy, then you will get more people to utilize your product or platform, and it just makes things so much easier. But yeah.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, I think I might have died over on Twitter. So if maybe you can get me back up over on Twitter.
Oh yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think this is actually a good spot to wrap it up. Um, Unless you had anything else you wanted to touch up on, I think it's been a very productive last hour and 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think we went over a lot. Again, shout out to everybody that joined us. I think we're having some technical difficulties over on Twitter. Oh, there we go. Hang on one second, Zach.
It's all good.
Oh, 1 second here. I got it.
Oh, I think my Twitter froze.
Yep, same here. Yeah, that's what happened to me too. So, all right, hopefully you guys can hear me both on Discord and Twitter now. So, yeah, just to recap, we had said, that the easy button of our ecosystem is these NFTs. So, if you've heard about EMP and you want to get in, oh, I think we're dead on Twitter again. All right, uh, can you hear me, Zach?
Yes, yes. My Twitter did freeze, but I believe I am back.
I know, man. We're having some technical difficulties. We got through an hour, but here at the end. All right. Well, we can just wrap it up, man. We really went over everything we needed to. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Hang on one sec.
I have never really truly understood Twitter Spaces yet, and why they don't just let me join on a PC so it doesn't crash. But
I know,
hopefully,
man.
hopefully soon Elon will add that feature. That'd be nice.
Yeah, 100%. All right, here we go. Third time's a charm. All right, I think we're good. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord. So, all right, just to recap one final time, yes, we said the NFTs are the best way to get exposure to EMP without all the hassle or time that is involved to learn it. So, we're really big on responding to, the criticism or constructive feedback of our community. And the number one thing, oh, Twitter died again. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up, bro. Yeah,
Sounds
if
good.
you yeah, if you can't hear us, join us over on Discord. So, all right, was that it, Jack? I think if there's any other questions, please join us over on YouTube. Tonight we'll have our own AMA at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, but thanks, Zach. I appreciate your time, bro, and shout out to you and the whole community.
Absolutely. I appreciate the kind words, and I really appreciate you taking the hour to come and chat about what you guys got going on at EMP. Lots of really exciting stuff. And to the audience, I really appreciate you guys tuning in as well. I know I say this every time, and I know I say that part every time as well, but it really does mean the world that you guys are taking time out of your day to hear what we have to say, and very humbling and really appreciative of that.
100%, brother. All right, man. Well, we'll do a follow-up AMA sometime next year, hopefully, with all the great successes that we've been able to have. So,
Sounds like a plan. Take it easy,
all right,
AJ.
brother. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.